Ladies and gentlemen, it is a big, scary world out there, and here we stand, folks, al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob Grams, and you're listening to...
The Promo Show!
How are we doing out there, friends? Welcome, welcome. You're listening to the one and only Probo Show, coming to you live at 8 p.m. on a Friday on my channel on Twitch, twitch.tv/Professional Bohemian. Coming to you pre-recorded, this show on Monday morning. I'm sorry about that, guys. The poor radio listeners, they're suffering Monday morning, so we are giving you, my radio listening friends, our Friday energy. It's Friday! Pa, 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 pa. So how are we doing out there, folks? We've got a good crowd in. We've got Nessa for Nessa. Always a pleasure to see her here, as is always delightful to see Min, Gandalf, and Nuria Tam. How are you doing, guys? Thank you for joining us on this Friday evening. We have a delectable show for you today, guys. You're going to enjoy it a lot. But first things first, there is no Lady Bo. I mean, there is a Lady Bo. She's just not here. And I just want to read some of the comments in chat. Min says, R.I.P. Lady Bo. I'll never forget her. She's not dead. She's just not here. She's not. I did not kill my girlfriend. Jeez Louise. Love you, Lady Bo. Hold on in there. Nessa, she's not kidnapped either. You guys think the worst of me. I can see why, you know. Your anger makes me powerful and your tears are delicious. So I can see why. Does Rob have her in the freezer? No, she's not in the freezer. She's under the balcony. No, she's fine. She's working. Come on, guys. Min says, no way. That would take away valuable pizza space. True story. That's why you never put a body in the freezer. Jeez Louise, do you guys really think so little of me? Did you just say Friday? I did, man. It's Friday. I foresee a lot of self-nivelathos today. Yeah, self-nivelathos are incoming. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. There is no Lady Bo. She's a figment of our imagination. No, she's working. She's got projects going on, so she can't dedicate as much time to the show as she would like. She'll probably get back late again tonight, I imagine. Was she getting too popular for you, Rob? Yeah. Too many of you pouring your affection on Lady Bo. My ego cannot handle that. And that's why she's no longer invited to the show. If you start telling me about anything in the studio that you like, you'll find that it disappears. Oh, that's a nice guitar, Rob. What guitar? That's how I roll around here, guys. That's the point, says JC. Thought so, says Nessa. That's true. 3 years ago, I told him I really liked his hair, and it disappeared. And it disappeared. So what we've got coming up in the show today, let me tell you, friends. We have got two delectable news items today for the show. We're going to look at pregnant women in London. That came out wrong. That sounded a lot more seedy and sinister than it needed to. We're going to take a look at a news story about pregnant women in London. And then we're going to look at a man who stole a lot of money from some tech giants, some technological giants in the tech industry. That's in Complete the News. And then also in the second half, we're going to look at people's habits in their car in 100 Humans. But that's in the second half. What we've got to enjoy in this first half? Well, of course, we've got an amazing unpopular opinion today. And another unpopular opinion. How do I have the gall to keep calling it an unpopular opinion when you guys have started to agree with me on everything? Simple. The world doesn't agree with us, friends. So we are the ones who have to set the world straight. And that's but all that's coming up after this, guys. Let's look at what's going on in the world. All right, friends, in the chat, our live viewers, it's a day that celebrates a movie. It's not the anniversary of the movie's release, but it is a very popular movie. Your job over the next few minutes is to tell me what movie's special day. It's not Star Wars, that's May the 4th. Ooh, JC has just written in some initials there. It's not E.T. It's not E.T. Nessa Vanessa. What is the movie? It's a very influential movie. A sci-fi. Yeah, JC is giving you some amazing clues. BTF are the initials. Chicken. Nobody calls me chicken. It's a famous line from the movie. Come on, anybody? Come on, guys. If I say, that's the power of love. See, you're making me sing. Okay, I'm going to give you a few seconds. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you. Nessa Vanessa for the win. It is indeed Back to the Future, and a special.
That gets the Probo stamp of approval.
For the one and only JC, who helped me give clues in the chat. It is Back to the Future Day, October 21st. I know if you're listening on the radio, it's currently October 24th or whatever. What can I tell you about October 24th? I know precious little. Other than it's Diwali. It's the Indian Festival of Lights, or the Hindu Festival of Lights. So if you're a Hindu listener, tuned in on the 24th, enjoy the beginning of Diwali. It is a beautiful festival. It's beautiful. Where I'm from in England, Bradford has a very big East Asian community, and Diwali has always been a really big deal in my city. And I'm a bit bummed out. I'm a little bit sad that I don't get to see it this year. But back to the Future, friends. Yeah, October 21st. Do you know why October 21st has been designated Back to the Future Day? Does anybody know? Ooh. Ooh. If you think back to that, if you think back to the scene where where Marty McFly travels back in time, the date, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2015, but the day he travels back in time is October 21st. October 21st, 2015. I think that's right. Yeah. So we're going to talk about the movie. Why not? Why not? Because recently there was a reunion between Christopher Lloyd, who played Doc Brown, and Michael J. Fox. And Michael J. Fox obviously is got strong symptoms now of his Parkinson's. And all of us kind of, I don't know, I think everybody who's seen Back to the Future carries a special place in their heart for the movie. At least I do. It is the first, I don't know if I've said this on the radio before, but it's the first movie I actually remember seeing without my mum at the cinema. I can't remember who I went to see it with. I don't know. It was either with a church thing, because I was an altar boy when I was younger, or it was an event organised by the Boys Brigade, which is kind of like the Boy Scouts. Yeah, and it was the first movie I remember seeing at the cinema. And when you're that young, things go unnoticed. Here's a question. Do you think they would make Back to the Future today? Do you think this is a movie that they would make today? What do you think? The Boys Brigade laughs, men. Don't Boys Brigade shame me. I needed the discipline. Look, I haven't been in the Boys Brigade for maybe 30-something years, and look at what's happened. Look at what I've turned into. Do you think that they would make Back to the Future today? I would argue not. I will preface what I'm about to say with, I love Back to the Future. I love it. I love Back to the Future. It's a movie that awoke a love of sci-fi for me as a young man. Like post Back to the Future. I mean, I did like Star Wars and everything, but Back to the Future, it presented me with, you know, with this icon that was Michael J. Fox playing guitar, you know, with his cute girlfriend traveling through time. You know, it was a massive influence on me when I was younger. But would they make it today? I argue that not. I mean, think about this. Think about it. I mean, there are several problematic elements. First of all, Lorraine, his mum, okay? Let's not forget that one of the major plot points in the movie, this movie that we all adore and we all cherish, one of the major plot points is that the female kind of second protagonist, Marty McFly's mum, is basically just an object to be hunted, to be cazado, to be hunted by George McFly. Basically, Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox's whole plot in the movie is making sure his mum and dad get together. Like, she... You know what I mean? And let's not forget, one of the key points in the movie is that Michael J. Fox has to pretend he's going to fake a sexual assault, so George McFly punches him. That would not be... There's no way modern movies would do that. No way. All right, another day without Ladyboy. I'm thinking a riot is in order, says Ravdos. How you doing, Ravdos? I don't know. I think a modern version still do well. I don't. You see, even though we don't think of Back to the Future as a gritty movie, it does have some really controversial plot points. I don't think it would be as big as the original now, but the heyday for these types of movies has passed. Dude, the heyday for any movie that isn't a part of a larger franchise has passed. Dude, if Back to the Future was made today, there'd be a Doc Brown spin-off. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's forget about, you know, the fake sexual assault and the fact that the one of the female, like the only female protagonist, is basically just an object for the second male protagonist to get with. George, Marty McFly's dad, is a bit of a creep. When Marty McFly first meets him, he's looking at a woman undressing with a pair of binoculars. Let's not pretend. They play it as a joke in the movie. But this is not normal behavior, folks. That's before we even mention the incestuous undertones, because the mum kind of has a thing for Calvin Klein, Marty McFly's pseudonym in the past. Am I making you all... See? I told you, before we started the show, I'm going to make you all hate me today. I'm going to do that. By criticising Back to the Future. So yeah, and what else? And let's not forget, one of the founding fathers of rock and roll, Mr. Chuck Berry, and his song Johnny Be Good. Not only did this movie have the white protagonist play it, but they even dared to insinuate that Chuck Berry copied it from him. Told ya. Back to the Future, it's a dark film. You didn't think about it before, but it's a dark film. Sinister. Back to the Future, the horror movie. It's not normal behavior. Let's dismiss the whole time traveling DeLorean. That's normal. This stuff about his dad and mum, that's the problem here. Time travel, completely normal. But this is the thing, you see, this wasn't a problem for us God knows how many years ago, 1986. This wasn't a problem for us. We weren't overanalyzing things. We weren't thinking too much about it. Is it a problematic movie after I've said all that nonsense? Of course it's not. It's a classic. And as I said, one of the most influential movies for a young man. Like, I wanted to be Marty McFly so bad. Between Marty McFly and then much later on, like 10 years later on, Oasis. Marty McFly might have been the catalyst, and Oasis, with their easy-to-play songs, became the vehicle for which I became a musician. Too many moral restrictions today, says Nessa. Could never be the same great movie. That's it. It could never be the same great movie. Why? Because, people will be so offended. You just imagine Chuck Berry's family suing the makers of the Back to the Future reboot. Interesting though, like the second one, where he goes to the future, it's eerie how they predicted the rise of a popularist leader like Donald Trump, isn't it? With the Biff Tower and everything. Prophetic. Some might say a prophetic movie. So yeah, it's Back to the Future Day. I think they inaugurated Back to the Future Day, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2011, October 21st. Rafelka, I wanted to be Doc rather than Marty. A bit crazy, scientific man. Well, think of the impact the relationship Doc and Marty had. Does anybody in the chat watch Rick and Morty? I mean, the boilerplate for Rick and Morty is Doc and Marty. I mean, the similarity between the names is no small thing. I think one of the main differences is that Rick and Morty is much more adult, and instead of traveling through time, they travel through dimensions. But if you think of it, if you look at it through the lens of a modern adult take on Back to the Future, it's actually quite an interesting show. All right, anyway, so what did I mention before? I mentioned we had a good, unpopular opinion. Let's go there now.
Unpopular opinion.
Today's unpopular opinion is advertisements aimed at children should be banned. Advertisements aimed at children should be banned. Sorry, my bad. And most people agreed with me on this. 83% on Twitter and pretty much the same on Instagram. Why is this? I mean, most people agree with me, but advertising to children, although restricted, is not banned. For example, in here in the EU where we broadcast from, the EU Audiovisual Media Services Directive states that all member states should have the following rules regarding advertising to children. Advertising should not cause moral or physical detriment to minors and shall therefore comply with the following criteria. Okay, so it's not allowed to in any way be detrimental to children by following the following rules. It shall not directly exhort minors to buy a product or service by exploiting their inexperience or credulity. What does that mean? It means basically children are innocent. Children are innocent. So if you tell them that something is the best thing in the world and it's going to do good things for them, they are going to believe you because of their innocence, their credulity, the fact that they'll believe anything that they're told. We miss Ladybo, says JC. You're not getting her back. That comment just sealed her fate. She's never coming back. Jealous Probo is jealous Probo. Making ads for kids is very difficult. You throw in some bright colours and some wacky sounds and you're in. Nessa Finessa. Well, that's a good one. They do that all the time. Exactly. Okay, next rule, EU rule. It shall not exploit the special trust minors place in parents, teachers, or other people. Your mum would love you to have this toy, for example. Okay, next rule. It shall not it shall not unreasonably show minors in dangerous situations. That one's just common sense, right? Don't show a child in a dangerous situation. And some rules regarding the programming that where advertisements are allowed to be shown. Advertisements cannot be shown, or may only be shown in programs that are uninterrupted for 30 minutes. I don't agree with this. I think advertisements should be banned altogether. But here's the thing: what is a minor? UNESCO states that a minor is anyone between 0 and 8 years old. I mean, and this really kind of sways depending on the territory we're talking about. Some places consider a minor anywhere under 12. I would say, personally, a minor is anyone under the legal drinking age in your country. You know what I mean? When I was a child, I used to like ads. I used to like ads too, but it doesn't mean they're a good thing. It does not mean they're a good thing. Because I don't know about you, Quaternario, welcome to the chat. I don't know about you, but I was very easily influenced as a kid. I was very easily influenced, and my family was poor. What does that mean? It means it put an immense amount of pressure on my grandparents to keep up paying for things. My grandparents and my mum paying for things that they couldn't necessarily afford. And that is, for a parent or someone trying to raise a young person, I just feel like that is really unfair. Because a kid doesn't know the difference. There's actually a word for it. It's called pester power. And this is common knowledge among marketers and salespeople. Pester power. What does that mean? It means you play an advert and you repeat it enough. The advert is selling to the children, and the children pester, bother, molestar a sus padres, their parents, until the parents eventually give in and buy the product. That, my friends, is how insidious and awful kids advertising is. And let's not forget, when we were kids, Quaternario, I mean, if you're anything like me, I'm in my 40s. When I was a kid, advertisements were not as sophisticated as they are now. Ads in the afternoon are only advertising of junk food, chocolate and biscuits, which is, again, disgusting. Why are we promoting these products to children? Or at least at hours where children are watching. Here's the thing, like, in England, kids are home from school at 3, 4 o'clock. In Spain, 5 o'clock. It costs nothing during children's entertainment not to play advertisements. But what is the problem with that? What's the problem with that? Well, obviously, these big media giants need to make money to play more, to create more content, or to pay their own salaries. So there is definitely some kind of there is definitely a moral question there. Let's see. Let's continue. Pester until the parent choke slams them, says Raptors. Nuriatam, and put in small letters below. Walk every day and have healthy habits. Exactly. Like the kid is going to pay attention to that. Exactly. It's insidious. It's a horrible practice, advertising to children. Gandalf, but that means we would be listening to our kids. Did I miss that memo? It's true, though. It's true. Most kids' products aren't sold because the parents sell the kids. Because if they were really selling to parents, it would be in a different way, right? Every toy would exclaim their educational benefits. But that's not what happens. Buy the new Batman, now with lasers. Do you know what I'm saying? And especially around Christmas time. You watch, guys. You watch. As soon as we hit December, we're going to see that wave of kids' advertisements hit us again. Mute the ads. Stand in front of the TV, says Symbol. How are you doing, Symbol? Welcome. Nessa Finessa. Well, just look at the cereal boxes. It's up to the hilt in sugar and fat and aggressively directed towards them. Exactly. Oh, you're going to get a...
That gets the Probo stamp of approval.
You guys are on fire today. My wife and I decided we did not want kids. They are not taking it well.
Probo approved.
All right. What else? Look, children, I'm going to have to sum up because I spent so long talking about Back to the Future. We're running out of time. Children lack the maturity and judgment. They cannot differentiate between the right products and the wrong products. Like, you could make advertisements for apples that make them sound cool and delicious and tempting. And then the same kind of advert for a hamburger. They're not going to be able to differentiate which one is better for them. They're not. They encourage the need to possess materialistic things. It kind of, all it does is kind of push this consumerist message to kids, and they're not sophisticated enough in their judgment to be able to identify that that's maybe not the way, or maybe not a healthy way to live their life. You know, materialistic attitude and outlook. It basically portrays the wrong image of what happiness is. You're not happy because you have the latest Batman figurine. You're happy because your mum and dad loves you. You're in a nice household. You're eating healthy food. You know. It becomes difficult. The final point, the point I'd like to maybe wrap this argument up on. It becomes difficult for low-income families, and this was the case in my household. I don't know if Mama Bo's listening. It becomes difficult for low-income families to fulfill an ever-growing demand that a child might have for products that they see on television, on the internet. because if that demand isn't fulfilled, then, it shatters your confidence. I remember what it was to be a kid and not have the latest sneakers when other kids in school did. Not to have a cool bike that the other kids in. You know what I mean? Because you might say, well, look, it's up to the parents to control the intake of ads. No, because school is a jungle. And if the other kids are watching those ads, the kids receive the same pressure. Advertisements for all kids, my friends, for all children, I would argue under the age of 18 should be banned. Guys, I can see you've written a lot of comments in the chat, and I'll have to get back to those after the break. You guys rock. Dudes, you can't understand how hard it is to indulge a toddler's sleep. All of a sudden, you get an ad to wake him or her back up. Nuriatam, when kids don't get what they want, mates have it, causes frustration in them. Exactly. I'm going to post a poll in the chat. You're going to tell me if I'm right or wrong, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind-the-scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @probo, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show.
The Promo Show!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. You're listening to the Probo Show. If you're listening on Vaughan Radio, it's currently Monday, the 24th, I believe. Welcome. For those of you watching live right now, it is Friday at 9:45, 8:43. You guys rock for joining me at this time. That's the time here in Central Europe. If you guys are watching in the States, which I know a few of you are, it's currently 2:45 in the afternoon. In England, 7:45. So welcome. How you doing, friends? What have you missed if you've just tuned in? Well, let me tell you. Today we spoke about a movie. It's the celebration day of a particular movie, where a creepy peeping Tom is featured in a frankly sexist movie with incestuous undertones, where a man tries to or fakes a sexual assault so this creepy man can get the girl. Of course, I'm talking about Back to the Future. Don't hate me. I love the movie. I'm just trying to make you angry. Why? Because your tears are delicious and your anger makes me more powerful. Of course. It's Back to the Future Day, folks. So happy Back to the Future Day. If you're a fan of the movie, there you go. It's time to stick it in your DVD player. I don't know where it's streaming, and have a watch. I quite fancy watching Back to the Future tonight. And what else did we do? We went to today's unpopular opinion, which was that advertising for children should be banned. Ooh. And a few people didn't agree in the poll. But before I go to the poll, I'm going to check out what people said in the chat. Okay, Nuria Tam said, when kids don't get what they want, other mates or other friends have it, it causes frustration in them. Exactly. Because the big argument against this is parents should be moderating what advertisements they watch. Well, no, it's not quite that simple of an argument, because their friends in school are being influenced by advertisements, and they get what they're asking their parents for. You may be done. It's causing this economic strain on what could be already a poor household, and especially in times like now, where most adults are already frustrated. The cost of living has already gone up. I can't see what benefits are given by advertising to children. And I'm saying advertising to children. I'm not saying stop advertising. Advertise to adults. If your product is really good for the kid that's gonna consume or use it, then advertise to the parents. Don't advertise to the kids. Pester power. We had a look at the concept of pester power, which is where you advertise to kids and you rely on the kids pestering, bothering, repeating over and over again to the parents, buy me this, buy me this, buy me this. Pester power. It's a common term in marketing and sales. You can check it out for yourselves by typing pester power into Google. It's a real thing, and it just shows how insidious it is, or how insidious and well thought out and sophisticated advertising to children has become. Nessa Vanessa says, just look at how we adults are influenced. Most of us can't stick to a phone for more than a year. Just need a new one or you'll die. Imagine the kids. Exactly. Dude, I'm so easily influenced. You know what I mean? I just have to smell a pizza on the way home and I want one. You're awesome, says Symbol. No, you're awesome, Symbol. That's what I say. I thought you were talking about Kevin Spacey. Yeah, interesting news about Kevin Spacey today. He was found not guilty of charges against I can't remember the actor's name. He's currently in one of the new Star Treks, Star Trek Discovery, I think. And he was sexually assaulted, or he claimed to be sexually assaulted by Kevin Spacey, and it was found that he wasn't in a court of law. Gandalf, it was the original Game of Thrones. Exactly. It was just Back to the Future. Back to the Future was just priming us for House of the Dragon. Thanks, Marty McFly. Banning things begets censorship and takes away the real culprit of where such responsibility needs to lie, with the parents. Yeah, there I completely disagree, Ravdos. Children pestering about toys is nothing new, and parents have proven more than capable of dealing with it. Yeah, but look, advertising is it's just a lot more sophisticated than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago, even 10 years ago. You know? And I do think it's problematic. I really do. You're reigniting your arguments, Rob. Parents are still the ones in control. I didn't get all the toys I wanted as a kid, and I wanted some toys. That's a fair point. I mean, it is a fair point. I do make a black and white argument, and nothing in life is black and white. Nessa, the thing is, Rob, if we follow the show because we're all sick as you are, that's why you need to post popular opinion so we can all be against it. Then you will enjoy our tears. True story. Nessa Vanessa.
Probo approved.
Anthony Rapp. Thank you. That's the name of the actor. Yeah, weird outcome, right? I also read a piece of news today saying the Pacific Ocean is shrinking. I can't remember what rate. Yeah, and I think I closed the article in favor of today's news about Back to the Future. But yeah, the Pacific is shrinking, and the tectonic plates of the Earth go through a 600 million year cycle, and that eventually America and Asia will merge into one gigantic continent. There you go. See, are you glad I stuck to the Back to the Future news now? Land must be growing. It's more than growing, it's moving. The tectonic plates of the Earth, they shift and flow. So eventually America and Asia will merge, and we'll get to another point where we get another big Pangea mega continent. Pangea is the name of the one continent that existed before the continents separated. Yeah, together again, Nessa Vanessa. Imagine how much easier it'll be to go on holiday in 600 billion years. You know what we should do now, my friends? We should go to 100 humans. Oh, wait. Before we do that, let's look at the results of the poll. Ooh. Advertisements aimed at children should be banned. Guys, you agreed you said true by 71%. Oh my god. It's looking good this week, guys. It's looking good this week. I can't remember how many wins I've had, but I feel like at least 2 or 3 in a row. Woo. Rob loves Daily Mirror and The Sun. Not true. Not true. If anything, I pull most of my stories from The Guardian. But if you want to know where I got my news stories from, here's how to get good news. Don't follow a publication. Follow a story. And if you follow stories, you get introduced to new publications. But don't follow publications, follow stories. And yes, I do use Reddit a lot. Reddit World News is a great source of world news. And there's a page called Futurism that I follow as well. No, Futurology. For news about technology and ecology. It's really, really interesting. Anyway, let's go to 100 humans. Oh my god, guys, it was a long walk to work across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans, and I asked them all a question. I asked them to tell me the first thing they do when they get into their car. The first thing they do when they get into their car. They answered that question. I have the 7 most popular answers right here. Your job in chat is to identify those 7 answers. All right. Let's see. Ravdos says, the wins are biased on your likability influencing the decisions. The polls on Instagram or Twitter where folks don't get to see your charming countenance are less swayed. Well, look, Ravdos, I won on Instagram. It was true on Instagram and Twitter too. I think there have been many cases where people have disagreed with me on social media, or agreed with me on social media and then disagreed in the chat. So my argument turned them against me. That's fine. I live for those moments. All right, Ravdos says to turn on the car, to start the car, says Ravdos. First thing you do when you get into the car, start the car. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. 17 of 100 humans said the first thing they do when they get into their car is start the car. It's in second place. Well done, Ravdos. Turning on the lights, says Nuriatam. Turning on the lights. I can't believe it. It's not there. Oh my god. I was almost positive I'd see that one. Yeah. All right. It's not there. Sorry, Nuriatam. That was a good answer. Ravdos says, putting on the seatbelt. I'll seem to run. Putting on the seatbelt. Is it there? Well done, it's there. Ravdos is on fire. He's got 2 answers right now. It is with 54 of the 100 humans saying putting on the seatbelt. That is the first place. Well done, Ravdos. Oh my god. All right. Gandalf and Ravdos both say close the car door. To close the car door. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Closing the car door, it's there. 8 of 100 humans said that. Is in 3rd place. Wow, you guys are on fire today. All right. Put on the seatbelt. That was there. That was a first place answer. You share that. Congratulations with Ravdos, Nuriatam. Light a cigarette, says Emily. Is light a cigarette there? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Should be. If it was my car, it would be. But it's not there. It's not there. We had start the car. That was a good answer, Emily. Close the door. We had turn on the lights. Wasn't there. Close the door was. Lower the volume of the radio. Lower the volume of the radio. Is it there? Oh, Nuriatam's been very unlucky. Been very, very unlucky. Nessa says lock the door. Lock the doors. Different to close the doors, to lock the doors. Is it there? Well done. Lock the doors is there. It's in 5th place with 4 of 100 humans saying to lock the door. Wow. All right, next one. Emily says to check the mirrors. To check the mirrors, or to fix the mirrors. Is it there? Wow. Emily, well done. Fix the mirrors is there. It's in 6th place with 3 of 100 humans saying to fix the mirrors. There's 2 answers left, friends. The 4th most popular and the 7th most popular. Let's see how you do. I'm reading some of the answers. Brilliant. All right. So check the mirror. Put on the seatbelt. That was there. That was the top answer. Choose a good track or turn on the radio, says MJ Symbol. We had radio before. It's not there. It's not there, Symbol. Sorry, it was a good answer. Turn on, obviously, Vaughan Radio. Or play a podcast. Play the Probo Show in your car. Available on all good podcast directories. Let's see. Make sure that the body is still in the trunk. A great answer, but not there. Check the back seat for murderers, says Ravdos. Great answer, but not there. Nessa said fix the mirror. We had that one, and it was a great answer. Well done. Pop in a stick of gum to chew gum. Chew gum. It's not there. Sorry, guys. Turn on the radio wasn't there. Neither is check the gas. Remove the sunscreen. Plug in your cell phone. None of those are there. Okay. Let's go to the clues. All right. This one is, starting the car was in second place. All right. This is one of the steps necessary to start the car. Woo. This is one of the steps necessary to starting the car. What is it? Ooh. Probably, what I would say the first step. All right, Emma Lee has an answer. MJ Symbol has an answer. They both say, put the key in the ignition. To put the key in the ignition. So Ravdos said it exactly as it is. Put the key in the ignition. Is it there? Well done. Fourth most popular answer, with 5 of the 100 humans saying to put the key in the ignition. There's one that I haven't seen anyone answer, but I'm sure it's probably someone's probably going to say I've said this already. Okay. Let's see. Put the key in the ignition. My car is too fancy for that. A keyless ignite. Oh wow. Fart, says Emily. It's not there. Turn on the heat. Not there. Take off your coat. Not there. But Nessa Finessa, even though that's not there, it's a good answer. You're thinking out of the box. So what literally the first thing you do as you're getting into your car? You do something. You position your body in a certain way. What do? You place your body on something. Eee! Not just in a car. Oh, Ravdos has an answer here. Oh, Nessa Finessa is kind of similar with that answer. Let's see. Ravdos says sit down. Check the seat is in the right place as Nessa Finessa. In order to sit down, is it there? Nice. Well done. Sitting down. Obviously, one of the first things you do when you get in your car is sit down. Adjust the seat, says Emily. If it's my car, I don't need to do that. True story, but you do need to sit down. Unless you're Fred Flintstone and you're just running along. All right, let's go quickly through the list. In position number 7, we had to sit down. The first thing you do when you get into your car, sit down. In position number 6 is fix the mirrors. Make sure the mirrors are reflecting the right area. In position number 5 was to lock the doors. In position number 4, put the keys in the ignition, unless you're Ravdos who has a fancy car. In position number 3 was to close the car door. First thing you do, you get into your car, you close the car door. In position number 2, you start the car. You start the engine. And in position number 1 was to put the seatbelt on. Well done to Ravdos. And who was the other one? Was it? I think it might have been Nessa Finessa. Or was it Nuryatam? They both said anyway to put the seatbelt on. Well done, guys.
That gets the Probo stamp of approval.
You can get the Probo stamp of approval because I pressed the wrong button. All right, friends, let's go straight to complete the news.
Complete the news.
All right, how does this work? Very simple, guys. I'll give you the news headline with some important information missing. All you have to do is complete the news. If you're watching the show and you're too nervous to type, this is your moment. All you have to write is A, B, or C. Here we go. The first piece of news coming from the BBC. Pregnant women to be handed or to be given free blank by London Council. Pregnant women to be given free blank by London Council. Is it A, free gym memberships? Is it B, free vapes? Vaporizadores, those things that you use when you're trying to quit smoking. Vape. Or is it C, free CBD products? CBD is one of the active agents in marijuana, and it gives you the relaxation without making you high. What's the point, you might be saying? I have no idea, but there you go. All right. Pregnant women to be handed free blank by London Council. Is it A, gym memberships, B, vapes, or C, CBD products? Okay, seen a couple of A's, I'm seeing a couple of B's. I salute Emily for being the only one who says CBD products. It seems to be a tie between A and B right now. Let's get a drum roll. Pregnant women to be given free vapes, guys, by London Council. Well done. We'll call that a tie. I neither beat you, nor did I lose that one. I'm so competitive. I know. All right, so let's look at this news. Pregnant women will all be handed free vapes by a South London council to stop them spending money on cigarettes. Lambeth Council estimates its Stop Smoking service will save parents £2,000 a year. Money, it says, would otherwise be spent on tobacco. There you go. Well done to you guys. We'll call that a tie. Symbol says, Rob, I know it sounds weird and geeky, but you should also raffle a yellow t-shirt with a professional bohemian artwork. Think big. Free publicity. I'm so hooked. Ah, thank you, Symbol.
Probo approved.
Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the show, man. All right, let's continue. News number 2. This is a good one. So, here we go. Are we ready? A man steals $122 million. This is an old piece of news, like 3 years old. A man steals $122 million from Google and Facebook by blank. So how? How did he steal $122 million from Google and Facebook? Man steals $122 million from Google and Facebook by blank. All right, are you ready, guys? Here are your options. Is it A, pretending to be a Nigerian prince? Do you remember those emails, guys? I'm a Nigerian prince. If you give me your bank account details. Is it A, pretending to be a Nigerian prince? You laugh, but it might. I see you all laughing, but it might be. It might be. Is it A, pretending to be a Nigerian prince? B, by simply asking for it? Or C, by pretending to be Jeff Bezos? Woo! A man steals $122 million from Google and Facebook by blank. But how? How did he do it? Was it A, pretending to be a Nigerian prince? B, by asking for it? Or C, by pretending to be Jeff Bezos? Look at my hairstyle. If this is the correct answer, I think I found a new career path. Nessa says I want it to be A. Nessa's saying A. I like it. I love it. We've got a few A's, Symbol and Nessa. Not A, but I don't care. I want it to be A. Few B's, 1 C. Again, Emily, I salute you, pretending to be Jeff Bezos. You're the only person. Again, we seem to have a tie between A and B. Let's get a drum roll. A man steals 122 million from Google and Facebook by just asking them for it. This is a weird, bizarre, true story. Why is this? Because normally I have fresh news. Why is this old news story? Because I found out about it today, and I really wanted to share it with you. So a man pled guilty. This was back in 2019. A man pled guilty to stealing a combined 122 million from Google and Facebook between 2013 and 2015. It was 99 million from Facebook and 23 million from Google. It was a Lithuanian man. And how did he do it? By simply sending invoices for things that they hadn't ordered. And astonishingly, both companies just paid for the invoices. Can you believe that? Here we go, guys. You know, Amazon aren't prepared. Time to be sending invoices care of Jeff Bezos. Hey, Jeff. Do you remember you bought all those professional Bohemian brand hats? If you're watching the stream, you can obviously see this piece of news right in front of you. A variety of forged paperwork, including contracts and falsely signed letters to maintain an air of legitimacy. Yeah, and he pled guilty. But quite ingenious, right? Quite ingenious. Guys, we're running up to the end of the show, guys. I've had such an amazing time. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your Friday evening to be with me tonight. We've covered a lot of things, from Star Wars to vaping in London to stealing from tech giants. Car habits, you name it, we've covered it, guys. I've had a whale of a time, and it's been such a great week. For those of you on Vaughan Radio, I'll be back tomorrow. For those of you watching live, I'll be back on Monday. Although expect maybe me to turn up on this streaming service, twitch.tv/professional bohemian, through the weekend to play some video games or maybe even make some art. Who knows? Guys, a lot of things you could have been doing on this beautiful, beautiful day, and instead of doing those things, you decided to take the time to spend some time with me. And let me tell you something, guys, it means the absolute world. I will see you next time.